Hi guys, welcome to the channel. Thank you for joining me and thank you for your continued support. Right, so I was going to try and fit this into one video, but I'm going to have to make two because there are different types of video and it might just get lost otherwise. So first of all, I'm going to talk about someone who has, in fact it was an MP who broached the subject in the Commons because one of her constituencies lost his PIP after going through a reassessment, and I'm going to go into the details of that so that you can see that as well. But there's a couple of other things I wanted to mention today as well before I do that. First of all, Rachel Reeves was asked in the comments about passported benefits. Basically someone said, you know, about the blue badge scheme and would that be affected by changes to PIP and the and universal credit. She said that passported benefits for PIP and things like that will stay as they are, including things like carers allowance. So that's a good thing to start off with. So that obviously it means if you are worried about your passported benefits, they shouldn't be affected by any of the changes currently under consideration. Obviously we don't know what's going to happen in the PIP review, but at the moment Liz Kendall said that everything is going to be as it is at the moment. She was also asked about certain disability charities who might get involved with the PIP review. She was asked about whether Parkinson's, for example, the Parkinson's charity was going to get involved because they were worried about the fluctuating conditions, you know, with this new severe conditions criteria, and so she was asked about whether she was actually asked whether Parkinson's would be included because it's a fluctuating condition. She didn't really answer the questions. She just said, well, the Parkinson's Disabled Charity are involved in the talks with the PIP review, and lots of charities apparently she said that they've spoken to lots of charities about this PIP review and about how to go forward with it. So I would be interested if any of you guys out there, and I know you guys really help me a huge amount and are absolutely fantastic. I get loads of emails from people recommending content and stuff like that. It's really fantastic. If there's anybody out there who is working for one of these disabled charities or knows someone who's working for one of these disabled charities, could they let me know if they have been approached by the government to talk about the PIP review or to discuss the PIP review or anything like that? Because I find it a little bit unsure. I'm a little bit unsure whether they actually are asking all of these charities about the PIP review and about how it is going to go forward. So if anyone can give me any evidence that they are approaching disabled charities, that would be fantastic. Thank you for doing that if you can. But that's a couple of things I wanted to get out of the way. But this is what I'm actually going to be talking about now, about someone's particular PIP claim. So let's look at the article and I'll show you what I mean. So this is it. GWP explains PIP rules after claimant loses award despite condition worsening. An MP has accused the GWP of being hostile to disabled people after one of her constituencies lost out on all his PIP payments despite his health condition getting worse. Labour MP Alison Hume said during the debate on the bill that many disabled people are terrified of the government's plans to reform the benefits system. She said, the GWP is too frequently at war with the people it is supposed to protect. Too frequently it lets down the most vulnerable in our community, and it mostly gets away with it. She warned that GWP decisions can be completely arbitrary and that the culture of the GWP is hostile to disabled people. Sharing one story from a person who lives in her constituency of Scarborough and Whitby, she said they have several complex physical and mental health conditions, including PTSD, attention deficit hyperactivity disorder, anxiety disorder, polycystic kidney disease and liver disease. Mrs Hume told Parliament in May, after reporting a deterioration in his health, he submitted new evidence to support reassessment for a higher rate of PIP, which led to the GWP removing his award entirely. He was left with no income, no support, despite his ongoing need for care. PIP is designed to help cover the extra costs that a claimant has as they live with a long-term health condition or disability. The benefit includes a daily living part and a mobility part. The lower and upper rates for each part depending on what extent you are affected by your condition. The GWE was asked for a comment about the MP's constituent and why they may have lost out on PIP despite their condition getting worse. The spokesman said, while we are not provided with the details to look into this specific case, we will consider all the available evidence when making decisions, and people have the right to challenge them and provide additional information. We're reforming the welfare system so people are genuinely supported into work while putting it on a sustainable footing. Now, why even say that? They always put that sentence in, reforming it to help people into work and putting it on a sustainable footing, which, you know, makes it sound like they took this man's benefits away purely because of the money, purely because of the cost. We are putting disabled people at the heart of the ministerial review of the PIP assessment to make sure it is fit and fair for the future, and we will work with them and key organisations representing them to consider how best to do this. Now, to me, this is absolutely crazy, because this man has submitted evidence to support a worsening of his condition. So he's not come up for a reassessment. He's simply put forward evidence to say that his condition is getting worse, and they've reassessed him and said, actually, you're not going to get anything, which is absolutely bizarre. Absolutely bizarre. And I think this is some of the reason why there is so much unclaimed benefits, because people think about this situation and they're like, well, okay, I'm getting this amount of money at the moment, but if I tell them, if I go and say, can you please reassess me because I'm getting worse, they might take everything away. And this is proof that those worries are justified. So, you know, that might be why there's so much unclaimed benefits, because people just don't trust the DWP to actually do what they've asked them to do and reassess them on a worsening condition, and actually they take away the benefit altogether. It's absolutely awful that they've done this to this man, and I'm hoping that we will get an update about how his appeal went, to see if he gets reinstated, because it really is awful. So that's the board part of the story. I will include a link to it, of course, in the description below. I'm also going to be talking in the next video about something which happened a couple of days ago, but I haven't had time to actually get to it, but I'm going to talk about it in the next video today, so keep an eye out for that. Please do subscribe if you've got this far. I would love to help push this channel forward a little bit further, and until the next time, thank you for joining me.